Good morning. I am running a little bit late this morning, but no big deal. No big deal, but I thought I'd carry you along with me as I do this. So I've got, I will turn this away. Go ahead, hon. It is time. So good morning. Good morning, everybody. I'm just waiting for my teacup. And yes, I did use the microwave. Tea people, don't judge me. And then we're going to go into my studio, my office, the place you usually see me. But why the heck not give you a little tour? Oh, something about these yoga pants. It's so weird. Regardless, good morning, Danielle and Blonde Terry and Darlene and Judy and Laura, Pagerilla, Mama Chef. Damn it, Donna. Gosh, Donna. Damn it. So here we go. And Sue, nice to see you too. We're going to walk through here. You know what's going to be funny? I will walk you through the Hall of Clutter. Now it's going to be dark. Ooh, it's like a scary movie going through the Hall of Clutter. Now, how can I show this to you? There it is. I don't know. You can't even see it, but maybe when we get closer to the light. Yeah. So here, let me see. See all that? See all that right there? That stuff, hopefully by this time next week, most of it will be in the basement, because the basement guys are coming today. All right. And so excited to get that done. But just getting myself situated. If you get motion sick, my camera, my phone is going to be moving around for just a couple of minutes. Not even a couple of minutes, maybe a minute. So you might want to just look away, but do not worry. I will settle down. I will calm down. I will sit down. I will drink down some tea. I will change my glasses. And thank you, Judy, for loving the yellow walls in my kitchen. Yeah, especially on days like today. Today is like day million, I feel like, of it being doom and gloomy. Here, there we go. See? Doesn't this look more familiar? But there is a life outside of this boundary. We, because my husband was involved, but basically this was kind of my deal. I wanted to get colors in our house, so even on a gloomy, rainy day, it would feel cheerious. Cheerious. I just made that up. Totally. It's so cheerious in our house. Use that sentence today. But yeah, I am affected by what I see. Maybe you are too. I am affected by color and clutter, or lack thereof. And yeah, as Dammit Donna says, happy colors. Completely. There are certain colors you will never find on my body and or in my house, as long as I have something to say about it. And let's just say beige, okay? Not a beige person. But yeah, so there was a little getting us going this morning. Yes, and Linda Mosier says, we have landed. Yes, yes. There we go. Okay, so On Fire For You is saying it is rainy in New Orleans. Thank you, German Maid, for thinking my hair is cute. I actually took a shower before hopping online today. It doesn't always happen, so you often see my bedhead. But thank you. Yes, and it is, I'm psyched. I'm so glad I have a product that works for it. This is not a commercial. But funny thing is, this morning, I will just share with you, is that I know when it's time for me to get a haircut, when I start looking definitely like the old punk rock version with the mohawk and stuff, but also that it takes me longer to dry my hair than I want it to. So a week from yesterday, in less than a week, I'm going to get my hair cut, and I'm wicked psyched about it. All right, I'm going to take a sip of my tea since it is steeped a bit. Why don't you take a sip of whatever beverage you have, and let's here's another down for us, a settle down. Let's settle down for a minute. Quiet down, sip down. Much better. The difference between the chaos and the moving and the quieting down and the sitting down, such a good difference. So here we are in a room full of strangers, as Barry Gibb and the Brothers Gibb might say. So in case we haven't met, my name is Beth. I'm a decluttering life coach, and my coaching is called Destination Decluttered. I help people when they're struggling with their clutter, getting started, getting motivated, keeping on going. And I like to use a road trip metaphor and all sorts of metaphors. Maybe it's because of the summers coming. I'm thinking a lot about like a swimming pool metaphor. The funny thing is, German Maid was mentioning my hair. Usually, I actually have my phone up on a yoga block. Okay, and let me try this. But because my hair is so big, you're missing the fact that there's a little car kind of right above my head, and that's because of, there we go. Whoa, that's kind of, what's that thing? Precarious. We'll try it. We'll try it for today so you can see it over my hair. You are the driver of your life. You may have allowed somebody else to get behind the wheel of your car. Tell them to move aside or get out completely and let's have you drive your life. Does that say that? Oh, it does. Check me out. I will just share with you. This is my earlier drive your life in the direction of your dreams. That's a good one. Listen to your co-pilot, not your backseat driver. So, here we go. Here we go. Now, Lori says, going a little crazy, moving now. Thank you so much for your advice. Okay. I love this. So, yeah. Oh, there's a bunch of things. So, Linda, I'll try to do things in kind of order. Linda says, having a complete hysterectomy in a week. Okay. Want to declutter but restricted. Okay. Number one, everybody, your physical health is the most important thing, followed a quick succession by your mental health, your energetic health. So if you are restricted, what I want to remind you of, Linda, and everybody, is decluttering does not start with moving your body and moving items. No, that's actually where the decluttering kind of not even ends, but that's a different part of the process. So Linda, I want to offer to you, everybody, even if you don't start moving your body, even if you can't move your body, you can move your mind, you can change your thoughts, you can write stuff down, you can notice how these things feel. So you can do a lot of planning of decluttering, and that is a vital part of the decluttering process, is making a plan, checking it twice, making a list, because that will give you something to do. Or like Oceanana, she's got grandsons, and I love this because check this out. Oceanana says, my grandson that I make dinner for and take to him in college texted me last night and asked if I needed any help with yard work today. And I responded with a happy yes, please. Planning is an integral part of your decluttering because that makes you know what you can do when you are physically feeling better, but also, seriously, you guys, it gives you a list to delegate to somebody else. You can sit from your throne, from your bed, and you can point and you can direct. Even if you physically cannot move the things, that's okay. The physical moving is something you can hire somebody for. But when you hire somebody, they have to know what you want and where does it go. So the decluttering, really backing it up, kind of like your car, backing up to the beginning of the process, happens in your head and in your heart. And then when your head and your heart are in agreement, then you write it down, and then you can do it or somebody else can. There we go. German Maid, yo, get out the way. I love it. I love it. So here we are. Wherever you are in your decluttered journey, maybe you're just at the beginning, maybe you've been decluttered and then stuff happens like you're getting the basement worked on. Wherever you are, I'm here to help you because I have been cluttered most of my life. I have spent many years now happily decluttered, and at the moment, because of circumstances, I have a lot of clutter around me, and I will confide in you. Didn't bug me for a while. Now it's starting to bug me. Now the good news is that it's almost over. So Lori Corey says, going a little crazy, moving right now. What I want to offer to everybody, every day and throughout the day, check in with your physical self. If you can move, great. If you feel great, awesome. It's gonna be a great day. What was it? Lay on it. Mattress discounters. Have a good night's sleep on us. Mattress discounters. I should have used my microphone for that. But anyway, if you're not feeling good, figure out where you're not feeling good. Where specifically? I'm not feeling good. You go to the doctor, I'm not feeling good. Okay, well, where do you not feel good? In your toe, in your nose, in your elbow, in your heart, in your head, behind your eyeballs, in your jaw? Getting specific about where you're bugged is going to help you. Okay? And Oceanana, it is totally 1,000,000% okay to accept help, and even more difficult yet powerful, ask for help. Now, you didn't ask me to show up in your life, but I just showed up on TikTok and you're hanging around here. So ask me for help. I can help you. Now, I love it. I love it. Very sweet. On fire for you, says Beth. You are loved and appreciated. Just got back from Germany and Europe in 3 weeks. Love that. Okay. Now, the comments are bopping along a bit, so I apologize if I'm bopping around a little bit, but I also have a touch of the ADHD, and I've got some caffeine in me. All righty. Becky's been working in the basement. Good on ya. All right. Worked in the basement yesterday. Got a lot done, but now I feel deflated. So many sentimental items. No big deal. No big deal. You are doing good stuff, Becky. Also, that deflated feeling, do not forget, you have done a lot of work in the basement yesterday and the day before, and maybe before that. So your deflation feeling isn't just because of the sentimental items. It also probably has something to do with how you feel physically. You also have been probably using your decluttering muscle, your decision-making muscle a lot. And that may be starting to ache like any other muscle in your body. Can you imagine if every day you went to the gym and you did a leg routine and you didn't give yourself a chance to recover? If you are using muscles you're not used to using, they will tire out. That is part of the process. So do not worry. Do not worry that anything is wrong. Nothing has gone wrong here. That's a good sentence. Here, I give it to you. Here, on a little silver salver. Nothing has gone wrong here. You're exactly where you're supposed to be in that process, and it's okay. All right? So do not worry, Becky. Take some time off from it. Do not get overwhelmed, because you can't declutter anything when you're feeling overwhelmed, and especially the sentimental items. Now, again, for those of you who are just meeting me, Beth, Destination Decluttered, Decluttering Life Coach, I categorize and chunk down into categories, clutter into 3 chunky categories: surface clutter, stored clutter, and sentimental. Every time I say sentimental, my hand goes to my heart, because this is where sentiments are. I also realized I forgot to put on my wedding rings here, but I still am married. All right. Sentimental is the one that's going to be the one that takes the most energy. It's like driving your car up a hill and around windy turns. It's going to take a lot of concentration and a lot of energy. And at the end of it, at the bottom of the hill, you're going to feel deflated. So do not go into that drive when you're not feeling it. There is a difference between avoiding something and planning on doing something when you feel better. There's a total difference. Okay. Now, I love this. Judy feels great today. I feel great today. I got to meet in person someone I listened to on TikTok, and we spent the day together. How freaking cool is that? How good is that? Connection and not feeling alone is really important to the human soul. We are not individual people. We are a pack animal. We wither and die alone. We stay grounded and connected and feeling good when we have the opportunity to connect with people in a way that feels good to us. Now, so for me, honestly, the connection that happens on when I do a TikTok live and when I do a YouTube live, which I will be doing in 45 minutes on Destination Decluttered on YouTube, I like this kind of connection. A certain amount of one-on-one physical, human connection in person is good for me, but I get overwhelmed about that at certain times. So I tend to recede a lot into the background. Finding a level that works for you is really good. But yay. Oh, all sorts of stuff's coming up now. Yeah. I love it, Judy, that you got to meet somebody. That's very cool. All right, Wanderlust Girl threw my back out moving boxes, taking time off now from packing. Love it. I love that you're taking time off. Do not push yourself past your point. You would not, again, here's another gem from my gem collection, because they're truly outrageous. Those of you who know will know. Is, what would you do if you were in your car? Your car is on a 1/16th of a 1/16th full gas tank, or, like, let's be modern, electric charge. You're at 17%. Your phone, maybe. What would you do? Would you keep on using it, or would you try to charge it up? So do not forget to plug in your own body to do the things that recharges your body. Rest, eating healthy, drinking water, going outside, relaxing, cutting yourself some slack. Okay? Now, Tammy Lee says, I need to learn how to pack and not overpack by a lot. I've been traveling and leaving again, and Cynthia saying, okay, me too, I overpack. Okay. And what I want to offer to you both is containers. I'm sensing a lot of words that I've used today that have the beginning of a C word, maybe, and not that C word, but I may use it. If you're playing along at home and trying to hydrate as I say a word, maybe today you pick any word I say that begins with the letter C, like clutter, like chunk, like container, okay? And container. What I want to offer to you is, Wanderlust Girl says, how was my trip? It was great. It was awesome. If I told you guys all the awesome stuff that happens in my life and that outside of this little container right here, you may think I was showing off. I don't like to show off, so I keep it to myself, but it was fabulous. But here is a lesson from decluttering and packing, kind of the same thing. The size of your container. I was the only one, well, actually, no. I was one of the few people on our trip of about, I think we had 9 people, that only brought a carry-on sized suitcase. So I offer this to you to say, one of the ways that you can reduce the likelihood of overpacking is give yourself a smaller container to pack in. Now, I don't like to check luggage. I like to hit the ground running. I also don't like to move heavy luggage, things like that. So I practice packing light. Here is another gem from my collection, and I didn't make this one up, but I heard it from somebody on the internet, which was with regards to what clothing you bring on vacation or to travel. I travel to see the world, not for the world to see me. Now, I was on this trip with, I guess there were 3 other women on this trip. The boys, they also had different clothes, but I don't pay attention to them. And I was wearing a lot of black because I find it easy. You can customize, you can dress it up, you can dress it down, you can look anonymous, whatever. I am really not that into fashion. And so I was okay with wearing a lot of black and just mixing and matching. And when you do that, you don't have to bring as many things. A couple of the women, and this is no judgment on them at all, but a couple of the women on our trip brought like knee-high boots. They looked fabulous. They did. They looked fashionable. In a way, I will say, admire them a bit for looking more fashionable than I did. However, at the grand scheme of things, I was okay with what I had. So I want you to think about, you go out to see the world. Nobody, even the people who knew me on that trip, didn't know if the clothes were new or old. If they were paying attention to, did she wear that yesterday? Then they're not paying attention to the freaking awesomeness outside there. So sometimes we think we are being looked at more than we ever are. We judge ourselves so much more than anybody judges us. Okay? We judge ourselves internally more than anybody outside ever does. Seriously. And here's a funny thing. One of the very attractive women on our trip, there was a picture of the 3 wives right there of the band. And I see this picture and I'm judging myself. Oh, look, I look so dumpy and blah, blah, whatever. I judge. myself. They too look great. Well, then she chimes up, oh my God, if my mother saw this picture, she would say, sit up straight. So even the people who you think have it all together and looking so great, they've got a backseat driver telling them something not so good about themselves. So notice when you're judging other people and yourself, traffic cop hand. Stop it and then practice unjudging yourself. But getting curious, whose voice is that? Why am I doing that? And you know what it is? Is fear. Fear. Now look who's in the house, people. Look who's in the house. It's been a while. Carla Jane. Carla Jane's in the house. Now I use this microphone because Carla Jane sent it to me. She's wicked nice. And look, Carla Jane, Oceana saying hi. Going to see you. Lovely to have you back. Now, I think we all are, I can't speak for you, so I'll only speak for myself. I bet we all are way judgier internally than we would be to somebody outside. Okay? So notice when you're judging yourself, when you're comparing yourself to somebody else. It is a tough habit to break. Who's that? Peter Cetera? It's a hard habit to break. But you can break it. You can break it. Maybe it just starts with a bend. Maybe it starts with a notice. Okay? Stop. Like a traffic cop, stop and redirect that traffic. We're not going down that road anymore. We're going to go down another road. We're going to pave another road. When we notice we're being judgy, we're going to interrupt it. We're going to stop it. We're going to turn it down and we say, we don't do that anymore. I love it. Carla Jane says, last time I checked, I don't sit on the bench with Judge Judy. Yeah. And notice when you judge yourself, you rarely come out the winner. You're always thinking bad to yourself. I say always, that's declarative, I know. So notice when you're treating yourself poorly, practice stopping it. The more you practice stopping it, the more likely it's going to be less likely to crop up because it knows it's going to be knocked down again. I get knocked down, I get up again, but once everybody keeps knocking you down, because let's knock down that unwanted behavior. We know we don't want it because the end of judging myself, I feel like crap. I don't feel good. I feel closed in. I don't feel expansive. Okay? So please notice if you're judging yourself, if you're judging your cluttered home. Now, if it's bugging you, then let's do something about it. You know? Oh, hey, if it's bugging you, let's do something about it. Melissa with a 3, as of the E, says, plans for today, my birthday. Let's give Melissa a happy birthday. Drive 2 hours to see my dad and sister for my dad's new home. Happy birthday, my dear. I know you've had some wonderful years behind you, and the good years start today. All right? And plans for tomorrow will be listing my stuff on eBay. Awesome. Good stuff. Good to have a plan. Now, Carla Jane, I love the fact that you bring up our least favorite characters on Little House on the Prairie, Harriet or Nellie Olson. Yeah, look at how stinky they were. All right? I totally found myself judging myself a lot more harshly on this trip for fear that I did not fit in. I was there. It was all in my head, and the stuff that was in my head trickled down to my heart, so I had the fear of not belonging, of being looked at and been like last man on the totem pole. There is no totem pole. Okay? So learning to stop judging yourself is a wonderful kind of life coachy lesson. And I want to offer to you that it also applies to decluttering. Allie D. Yes, Allie D says, cleaning out my mother-in-law's home and it's almost debilitating. Oh, hun, do not debilitate yourself. Do not debilitate yourself. Now, I don't know the specifics around it. Everybody's journey through decluttering is a little bit different. But I show up to remind you, kind of like when somebody reminds you, maybe you just need a nap and a snack. When's the last time you had a drink of water? To take care of yourself. Take care of yourself, and you will better be able to take care of other things. But it starts with you. So Allie D, that's a bummer that when you're cleaning out your mother-in-law's home, the good news is it's almost debilitating. So it's not, you haven't been debilitated. Okay. Yeah. So what specifically, if you don't mind, and you don't have to answer the question in the comments. But when I offer you a question, and when I offer a question to somebody else, Pretend I'm talking directly to you. What would be your answer to this question? You can write it in the comments or you can keep it to yourself, but I ask you to listen for your answer. And when you're listening, you're going to listen to the words up here and notice how they make you feel. The more that we tune into our own kind of internal radio and notice what our reasons are for doing things, our thoughts behind things, the more we can find a solution that's going to be tailored to us. So what is the debilitating part, Allie? If you share it, maybe I can help you. Now, yes, I love it. Reina, I apologize. I can't pronounce your word. I am afraid of mispronouncing your name. But I love it that you're tuning in from Brazil. Hola. I love international. She says, we live in a critical and competitive world, but we have to prioritize ourselves. Yeah. And so notice, it isn't just here in the U.S., So I love that. I love that. Thank you for chiming in. Nice, lovely to have you. I want to go to Brazil someday. Therapy Gal Sue, yeah, the most basic and simple things can often be the true things. Love, fear, water, air, community, care. Those things, those core things that are universal. And I say universal even though we're just on Earth. But those things are really important to all creatures on the planet, especially humans. Now, PM11208 says, "Hi, Beth. Hi. You have helped me on my journey because I decluttered my living room. I can build a balloon arch for a party in your I love that. How fun. Notice, decluttering, and I feel like I'm being jazz hands here. Decluttering really is giving you space, literally, in your home, but also figuratively in your head to do the things you want to do. I want to, fill in the blank, build a balloon arch in my living room. I feel like, where is it? I had it yesterday. This may not translate to Brazil, but it might. But those of you in the U.S., I was decluttering a while back. Do you guys remember these? Mad Libs? Right? Seriously, I was decluttering. Those are my initials right there. And somewhere on here, it says, yes, by Nub. That's what we used to call our friend Kathy Urban. Nub and Beth, 4579. 1979, we did some of these. Now, the reason I bring up the Mad Libs is because how would you fit in? I want to do this in this area. And ask yourself, are you able to do that? Are you able to create a blank, a noun, in a location of your house? If you can, hooray. If not, let's get there, shall we? Yeah, okay, so Allie D, I get this. I get it. I'm gonna back it up here a little bit. Allie D is saying the reason it's debilitating is to clean out the mother-in-law's house, so much resentment that she lived such an entitled life and we are expected to do this. We took care of her home for the past 1.5 years while she was in assisted living, And what I want to offer to you is, yeah, I get it. That sucks. That really does suck. It does. I'm not going to lie. However, this might help. Feeling resentment to her now doesn't change the situation that happened. Now, I know this sounds like a lot of head talk, but it also comes from the heart. The most important thing for you is your peace of mind, is your peace, inner peace. You might feel better temporarily yelling at her in your head, but after that, try your best to let it go. Letting it go and quieting it down. You're going through the process anyway. Why make yourself feel worse in it, okay? When you are feeling crappy doing a process, it makes the process more arduous, less pleasant. Not that cleaning out anybody's house is going to be pleasant, but let me be clear about something. There is a difference between enjoying the process and tolerating the process with minimal angst to just get it fucking done and get it behind you. Cleaning out that house, you're doing it now, you'll never have to do it again. But then, here's something I want to offer to you, because this is a motivator for a lot of people of any age, but especially of kind of our age. Now, I'm Gen X. I'm OG Gen X. I'm very on the cusp right there with Jen Jones. And what I want to offer to you is, if you are resentful for having to do this, take a look at your clutter and don't be that person to somebody else. Okay? Now, resentment builds up after years. It just might come to a head when you are being surrounded by this type of thing. Okay? Get it done. Get it done and get it behind you. Okay? I would love to kind of help you through that, you know? And she's saying, absolutely, we will never do this to our daughter. Okay, there we go. So notice what you can learn from even the most. If you don't learn from the not so great experiences in your life, you may repeat them. Hello, person with a first marriage, right? Learned from it, did something different. Okay, so Nana Joe says, rainy and dreary here. Oh, hun, me too. And was just about to lay down in depression. No, but saw you were on and I'm sorting summer clothes. Rock on, Nana Joe. Look at, she had a choice. She had a choice. She could drive down the road to depression and laying down. Crap, I would probably do that if, with this. I love that you decided to notice that there was a fork in the road and do something different. Everybody, as soon as you slow down, when you remind yourself, I have a choice here, it's like a fork in the road appears. Okay? Now, good on you. I love it. Pivot. Yeah, pivot. It's like when you're doing line dancing. I freaking love line dancing. Okay? Or just steer your car in another direction. Okay? Now, what I will say is, Tenley Resist says, advice for getting siblings to cooperate cleaning up a parent's house. Oh, boy. Now, I am not a relationship coach, and I am definitely not a family relationship coach because I have my own family, and I have siblings. This may help. This is why I, even for my own self, remind myself, thank frickin' God, I was smart enough at a certain point to call my coaching Destination Decluttered. Okay? So Tenley, this is what I offer. Get clear on your destination. What do you want the outcome to be? Now, I just say, if you're cleaning up a parent's house, if it were me, so I'm just going to run it through my lens. So you see where this parallels and where it may differ. But in my experience, when I get to the point of cleaning out my mother's house that she's lived in since 1969 and wants to be waked out of, is getting it done as quickly as possible is important to me. I don't want it to linger. I want it to get done quickly as possible. Another important goal for me is to make sure that sentimental items do not get thrown out. So that's important to me. And other than that, I really don't care. Once the sentimental items are removed, this is my plan, is I have a plan. If it were just up to me, I would want to get the sentimental items that I wanted out of there. Allow, have my siblings and I grab whatever we want, and then seriously open the doors to anybody else who wants to pick up the stuff that we don't want to deal with it, and have them, I don't even care if we sell it, just get it out of the house. Because I want that house sold and I want it knocked down. And yeah, I'm going to make some money off of it. So what I ask for you is getting clear on what you want. You can also share your goal with your siblings. This is what I'm aiming for. What's your goal? What do you want out of this? And how can you work with them to get it done? Now, have I spent the last 4 years in my mom's house decluttering the sentimental and the crap that is accumulated there since 1969 and beyond, because they moved in a shit ton of old stuff from decades before then when they moved there, okay? Have I been doing a lot more of that than my sisters? Hell yeah. Do I resent it though? No. I love this because this is something I'm good at, and I am doing it not just for me, I'm doing it for them too. So we all have a better sense of what crap is in the house and what good stuff is in the house. Getting clear on your destination makes you realize, is it going to be a hindrance to have that person help? Or is it going to be a help to have that person help? You know, cooperation means you're all moving towards the same goal. So get clear on your destination. Okay? So, alrighty, here we go. Now, Raina says I follow the 5-minute rule. If I can change it in 5 minutes, okay. If not, I don't take or give advice. Interesting. I stop. I love it. Line dancing. Somebody likes the line dancing, and we're pivoting. I love it. Allie D is going to check back with us in a few days. 120-yard dumpster done, and on to the next. And how about this? When you're throwing your mother-in-law's shit into the dumpster, throw away the anger too. Get it out of you. Use that physical pushing of the stuff to just release that resentment. Don't carry it around with you. Okay? Now, obviously, I'm not the only one, and Allie is not, and Tenley is not the only one who also is not just dealing with your own clutter, but we're dealing with other people's. It can be an older generation. It can be a younger generation. Debbie says, Hubs and I both lost our moms this year. After going through their houses, we're motivated with our house. Yes, because you don't want to go through. I'll never do that again. Yeah. And Sweet Rain Cynthia, notice your destination is I don't want to clean out my in-laws when the time comes. Notice you don't want to do that. If you don't want to do it, how can you get the house clean without you doing it? Estate sale companies. Seriously. If you don't want to go through that, you do not have to. Somebody else can. Okay? But notice what you want and what you don't want. Write those things down. What you want, what you don't want. The clearer you are on your goal, the stronger the line is between where you are and where you're going. Because if you don't have an end point, if you don't have something you're aiming for, you're swerving all over the place. You're not on a road trip. You're just driving in circles. Okay? Now, Debbie says that's what I did, gave everything away. Mom would have loved that her things were helping others. Now, I cannot, you know what, my mother on the planet would probably be like, I can't believe you gave that away. I spent good money on it. But yeah, I don't want it. That's okay. All right? Yeah, Cat Mama is also offering because she's working through her mother's stuff. Good point. Had one sister kept putting up roadblocks, so I did it without her. Yeah. Okay. Now, Lisa Tobin. Lisa Tobin, I'm so sentimental. Yay. That's a good thing. You know what that means? It means you are human. If you didn't feel feelings, you may be a robot. So you know, check yourself for a pulse. Yay, you're an alive human on the planet. Okay, but notice you're drowning. Here, you're feeling like you're drowning. What is the feeling? You're not drowning. You have the feeling of drowning. Now notice that metaphor. I feel like I'm drowning because I'm in over my head. There's too much. I can't breathe. All of that drowning metaphor also can be the feeling of being surrounded by stuff. Lisa, I want to offer to you, it is okay to be sentimental. If you don't know how to get rid of things, I can help you with that. So there is help. Me, look at me. I'm throwing you one of those like little dinghies, one of those little round things that says like SS Minnow on it. Hang on to that. Pull yourself up and breathe. Yeah, my siblings died young. Yeah, that's tough. You probably have a lot of things that remind you of this sibling and that sibling and this sibling. Dealing with the sentimental clutter is the deepest life preserver. Thank you. Preserve your life. Preserve your life. Okay? Now, notice that you're going to feel feelings when you deal with sentimental stuff. But let's even back up. If we're talking about drowning, let's get out of the deep end of the pool. Now, I love the ocean, but I'm thinking about the pool for some reason. Here's a life raft. Here's a life preserver. Thank you, Gina. And let's just go over to the shallow end of the pool. Decluttering is a life skill, and you learn it in stages. So I like to start with these chunks, these stages in this order. Surface clutter, stored clutter, sentimental clutter. I like to share with you that decluttering is decision making. Surface, stored, sentimental, decluttering, decision making. Do not start with the hardest part. Don't start, if you don't know how to swim, don't jump into the deep end of the pool first. Start at the shallow end. Start with surface clutter and start with your own stuff. Practice asking yourself about just the stuff that you've purchased. Do I want this or not? Notice the stories behind your stuff. Practice on the things that don't activate your feelings as much. And get practice on it. As you practice this, just like being in the gym, your decluttering muscle grows stronger. Okay? So start with, instead of sentimental, swim over to the shallow end. Start with the surface clutter. When you do that, you give yourself some space to then sort out the next layer down, which is going to be stored clutter. And again, start with yourself and your stuff first. And then as you do that, you may be able to peek into a box of items of your siblings or your parents and be able to chunk it down. That's the other thing, chunking it down, one box at a time. If one box is filled with too many memories, maybe you just pick out one or two things, you close the box, you go back, a chunk at a time. Okay? It really is noticing how you feel, but not letting your feelings stop you. Acknowledging them, noticing them, feeling them. When you feel a feeling, it passes like one of those rainstorms that you see kind of traveling across when you're driving Route 66. All right? You can do this. And I will say, it's 9:42 in the morning right now. I've been doing this TikTok live for almost 45 minutes. And I do a TikTok live and a YouTube live almost every day, especially in June. June is a big month. I cannot guarantee anything for, I'm looking at my calendar here, for July. And man, oh Manischewitz, I will tell you right now, August, I'm going to feel very European because August, I have a lot of time that I will not be on doing stuff like this. But when I can show up, I show up. So if you want help with this, if you want to not feel so alone and you want to learn how to do it so you end up learning how of something you currently don't know how to do, I'm here for you. I also offer one-on-one paid coaching. I have a 10-session program. At the moment, I don't have my calendar set up for consultation, so I don't want to go in on that. But if you like what I do and you want to find out when I'm tuning in, to tune in live, to ask questions, to get help with what you're struggling with, join the free mailing list, destinationdecluttered.com. Scroll down, again, put your mailing list in, email address in, promise me you're not a robot. Boom, you're on the list, and you get access to the TV guide page, as I like to say. Now, when you tune into that secret page on the internet, people who already are, you're going to notice, holy Moses, did I schedule a lot of declutter parties for June. More than ever before and maybe ever again, but we're going to see how it is. There are also, today, I have three lives because I'm doing a bonus because last night I didn't do a nighttime one. I have TikTok lives, YouTube lives, and declutter parties officially, publicly scheduled from today until Saturday, June 7th. And behind the scenes, they're scheduled for the entire month, but I'm going to dole them out a bit at a time. Okay? But a bit at a time, a chunk at a time, as not to overwhelm you. Okay? As not to overwhelm you. Yes. And Lisa, I love this, that you say, it is so overwhelming. Overwhelm is a big deal here because we notice that overwhelm can be a feeling. When you notice that, you can do something different. Everything I pick up of theirs vibrates. Yes, it does, with an energy, with a story. It unlocks a story of their being not here anymore. And that is a tough thing for we humans to realize. If they're gone, that means I'm going to be gone someday too, and that's freaking scary. So notice that. But notice this. Everything I pick up of theirs vibrates, but at what frequency? Vibrations, think of a keyboard on, a piano, an old-timey piano, like a grand piano. Each key has a different vibration. Some of them are stronger, others are quieter. Other are deeper, and other ones are a higher note. So they vibrate, but not all at the same frequency. Start with the ones that don't vibrate so much in your heart. Some things will cut you to the quick. Others are like, oh, look, those are the gloves my mother bought at the Christmas tree shop. They won't be as painful. So you can do this. All right? Now this is interesting. Cynthia says you have about 6 seconds to react to the emotions after a feeling. There's a magic spot to pivot. Yeah, when you notice what they call, I guess, in a lot of things like the gap. Something happens, and realizing you have a choice to react or respond. Now, mostly, we can be reactive. We don't even realize it, but somebody says this and you say that, and that was it. But if you gave yourself just a second, 6 seconds, you might do something differently. You know? Yeah. So, Tammy Lee, so excited for somebody, and I apologize. Okay. Oh, all sorts of stuff. All right. Therapy Gal Sue is leaving a detailed plan for my house even though I'm not going anywhere. Well, you will one day, but doesn't it feel good to have a plan and to share it with somebody so they know it too? Now, Melissa is missing her aunt that passed. Yeah. I hope I'm one of those aunties that has missed and passed. And I love that you're wearing my favorite clothes and her tiara. I freaking love that your aunt had a tiara to make me feel not so sad. Yeah, clothing can feel like a hug, can't it? Yeah. I wore a jacket of my great aunt who I missed, and it reminded me of her. I swear, and I'm not kidding you, that part of my decluttering skills comes from my great aunt, who she and her husband moved into a 1-bedroom apartment after World War II. That's where she lived, and she was into her late 90s. Okay? Cynthia, I love that you're watching your grandmother, mother, and mother-in-law, and you are breaking the cycle. I am not going to hoard. Yeah, it is a generational thing. Yeah. Now, what you struggle with clutter-wise is unique to you. Debbie says someone told me that clothes were the most difficult, and Debbie says that was the easiest stuff for me. All right? Yeah. So, in their camp, Debbie says the most difficult thing was things she had since I was a kid. Yeah? All righty. Okay, Tammy Lee, now I see your context. So the declutter parties and the YouTube lives. Have to look at my schedule now and figure out when I can do the parties. I love it. I love it. Yes, looking at your schedule, looking at my schedule, seeing if they align. Because the declutter parties are really fun. It's an opportunity for you to put into practice the stuff that you're learning here while having guidance. I'm there to help you if you get stuck. So you're not decluttering alone. I love this. Kara, I'm actually jealous. 4 loads of laundry put away during this live. Very cool. Yeah. Aw, Carla Jane. Carla Jane and I coach together, and she says it completely changed my family. Message me, and I will share anything I can, and I will answer any questions. Pick her up on that. If you're curious about what coaching is like with me, you can ask me, but you can also ask other people to do it. They're going to have a different perspective that I don't have because I'm the coach, not the client. Okay? Yay. I love it. Judy says yay for the decluttering, the declutter parties. I'm going to be a major party person. Party people in the house. Ho! Yeah, and I'm not calling you a hoe. Okay. Vicky says my problem is organization. I love it. Now, I used to not use the word problem, but I like the fact, because I like to work in opposites, that much like Vanilla Ice would say, if you got a problem, yo, I'll solve it. So if there's a problem, there is a solution to it. If your problem is organization, I can help you with that. I am wicked organized. Organizing makes me feel good. Bustin' makes me feel good. Organizing gives me peace of mind. Being organized, feeling organized gives me a good feeling because I know where things are if I need them. I know when I go to get them, they're going to be in good condition, and I know where to put them back easily. Okay, so I can help that. Yes, let's all be that auntie. All right? So, now I'm backing it up here. What do we got here? Clothing is easy for me. It's all my dishes and china and such. Okay, so notice that. I am a big china and dish fan. I used to work at Mikasa and Pier 1. My great aunts and my grandmother worked for Jones McDuffie China Importers in Boston. So I've got Wedgwood. I've got, Reed and Barton. So I know that too. So those have the sentimentals too. There we go. Tenley says tapping helps pet push Beth's live out. Keep tapping, it's clapping. I love it. PM says I have a flowered sweatshirt my mom wore hanging in my closet, and I smile when I see it, and I'm keeping it for now. I love it. Aw. Tammy Lee says I have felt lost without the time with you and the other people on the parties, and glad to be back. Yay. And I love it. Erin says same offer for me because we've coached together. I'll tell you anything except the price. Yeah, that's up to me. I decide the price, right? So I love it. Okay, here we go. I'm keeping an eye on the time for all of us, okay? And I'm going to do this even right now as we're here because I want to help you guys practice. One of the things, Danielle, I just saw, it has been 3 months since my dog died and her basket of toys is still in my sunroom. That is okay. That is okay. We had our pups stuff around the house for a while. We got rid of some stuff that smelled like him and it just smelled gross and doggy and not like, oh, my little stinky pup. Yeah. You will declutter when it feels right to you. And if it doesn't feel right, notice that and honor that. Okay? Honor that. Scoops, nice to see you, Scoops. Scoops, I've been talking about you recently when I say, maybe I just need a nap and a snack. I think of you when I say that. Okay? There we go. Allura Interior's got depression glass. I freaking love that. That's awesome. Aw. You will declutter. You will do something when you feel safe to do it. You will do something when you're not afraid it's going to hurt. You will do something when you don't have fear. So let's notice if that's the dynamic, if fear is stopping you, how can we quiet down the fear? How can we address it, get curious about it, chunk it down, and substitute it with something better? Okay? So that's what we do here. Okay, Danielle, I am almost crying thinking about doing something with them. Don't worry about it then. Keep them there. You can keep your pups' toys there as long as you want. There may be a time in your future where it doesn't hurt as much. Okay? I would say there will be. Okay? There will be a time where it doesn't hurt as much. If you are too tender, if your nervous system is feeling a way that's making your physical body want to cry, notice that, and it's okay. It's okay to feel feelings. It's part of the human condition. But the good thing about feelings is they happily fade. Can you imagine if you felt all your intense feelings all the time? Holy, that would be too much. That would be too much. So feelings will fade, and that's okay. You can then choose to revive them with a souvenir that reminds you, a sweatshirt hung in a closet that makes you smile about your mom. What we did was, one of the things we left, which I think is wicked cute and makes me smile, is I have a little dinosaur figurine that I got at this, it doesn't matter where I got it. I have a dinosaur figurine with a long head in our kitchen right next to the stove, the sink rather. And I take my rings off when I'm doing dishes and I put them on like a little collar. I also took the little thing with our dog's name on it that was from his collar and I put it on the dinosaur. And I look at that and I smile. If I looked at it and I cried, I might put it away. But at a certain point, we were able to organically do things. Yeah. And what made us feel good, and Becky R68 says, if you're ever ready, how about taking them to a rescue where those pups don't have any toys? Yeah. One thing that made it much easier for us to rehome, even looking the word instead of getting rid of, rehome a lot of our dog's stuff, was knowing there was a place just down the street that helped with like shelter animals. So we had some crates because he was a big pup. We had some dog. We had all sorts of things that we were able to donate. So we felt good. Yeah. So when you feel ready, you will do it. So think about that. If in order to do something, you need to feel like you can do it, let's get you to that point when you feel like I can do this. And you don't have to figure out all of it. It's not like knowing the lefts and rights, but just starting. Because then as soon as you move forward, you have a different perspective and you can move a different perspective. Okay? Yeah. Ah. Hey, there we go. I love this. I love Carla Jane is sharing a victory. She has been waiting for a surveyor to survey her land for 10 months. It's going to be completed next week. I love that. Okay? I love that. I love the fact that you are closer than ever before. That things happen kind of in the order that they're going to happen. Sometimes you cannot push and make things grow faster, but you can be patient and know that it's going to happen and not get engaged in the get your nervous system all worked up. Do not do that. It's just a waste of energy. The more calm you can be about a lot of things, the easier it is. Yes, the new guy from the parking lot you met at the Dollar Tree. The universe provides. That's what I like to say. The universe provides in mysterious ways. I consider myself, frankly, one of those things that has shown up in your life for whatever reason. The mysteries of the universe, the mysteries of TikTok, and in like whatever, 4 minutes or so, we're going to do a YouTube live. I'm getting it set up right now in case things go wonky. Things went wonky a bit yesterday, so I'm going to make sure it's okay before we start. Okay? So what day is today? 5/29. My goodness, it's almost the end of May. And it's going to be 10 a.m. YouTube Live. Now, I say 10 a.m. because I'm Eastern time, as you could probably hear from my accent. I'm going to put it on the May 2025 playlist. It is not made for kids, but kids are people too. Wackadoo, wackadoo. Kids also would benefit from learning how to declutter. So if you don't know how to learn, if you don't know how to declutter, and you want to learn? Okay, let's cross our fingers. All right, it's looking good. All right, so we're going to do that. So, wicked quick because we got 3 minutes here, okay? If you just tuned in or you've been here and you don't want it to end, it doesn't have to end because I am going to continue exactly what we're doing here, but slightly different. Slightly different because it's going to be the same content, but on a different TV channel. Instead of being on TikTok, it's going to be on YouTube. And on YouTube, you're going to get a wider view because it's horizontal and it's on my computer versus my phone, but it's the same thing. Now, Betsy, the digital boomer, says, I think if I could get organized, which you can, then the cluttering would be so much easier. Well, the decluttering. Right, exactly. And here's a funny thing. Organizing and decluttering are friends, but they happen in a different order. Oh, Steph is West Coast here, and I didn't notice you had an accent. Well, here's the funny thing. I grew up in Boston, so I tend to talk wicked quick, and I tend to use the word wicked, and it creeps out in different ways. Funny thing is when we were growing up, there were certain, I literally grew up saying tomato, and my mother tried to say bathroom. She still does. I say bathroom. Different things creep out. So it was not encouraged to have a certain Boston accent when I was growing up, but then also I did college radio. So I tried to be more mindful of not dropping my R's, right? Like I'm in Fenway Park, right? All right. So I love this. Danielle says, letting go of things makes it easier to organize what is left. Yeah, Nana Joe says, I'm guilty of buying all kinds of organizers, but still disorganized. Yeah, I would love to get into that, but we have only a minute left. If you guys want to talk more about that, what I want to suggest is Destination Decluttered on YouTube. I don't know how you access YouTube yourself, but when you go to YouTube, just type in Destination Decluttered. I'm going to show up, go to that page, and there should be something that says live. I will be doing it for an hour. Okay, so if you want to get into it, I will tell you the fun thing about doing the YouTube lives is that a substantially smaller amount of people show up. I think that's cool because then we can get deeper into stuff. Vicky says, will you be back tomorrow morning? I don't know. Will I? Being a sassy pants. I will be. I will be back tomorrow. And Vicky, what I want to do, and this is the thing, is Friday, May 30th. Yes, I will be. But I'm not going to tell you what time. You know why? I want you to practice doing something to get what you want. If you want to know the time, yes, you could ask me, but I want to teach you how to take action. Are you on the mailing list? If you're not, get on it. If you're on the mailing list, you know where to go. I will always be directing you to the secret page. All right? Yeah, Lord willing and the creek won't rise. And if somebody doesn't push that, little red button, we'll be back tomorrow. I feel like Dwayne Ingalls Glasscock. All right? WBCN. The Rock of Boston. Okay? Now, I'm going to see you guys on YouTube. Follow me over there. If you don't know how to do that, practice. We're there for you. Okay? Figure out where it goes wrong. Do not be afraid to try new things. Do not be afraid to learn new things. That's how you change your life in the most awesome of ways. Okay? This has been wicked fun. This has been wicked fun. I'll see you over there on the YouTubes in just a sec. All right? Bye.